been a minute. How you doing? Hello and welcome to Don't Forget the Spice. My name is Chevelle, and if you've been here before, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you so much for tuning in. I've decided that for 2021, I would like to accomplish a number of goals, but specifically, I'd like to start a series that is book reviews. I'd like to read 24 books by the end of the year. If I could read more, that would be even better. But I'm especially excited to knock out these 24. I did 20 last year for 2020, and that was pretty awesome. So I'm going to try and outdo myself and then use this series to hold myself accountable. So if you'd like to hear more about books, if you'd like to hear more about which types of books I recommend or enjoy reading, or if you just want to hear a little bit about the sorts of things that have been going on in my brain, stay tuned. I'm so excited that you're here. Please feel free to like if you enjoy this video and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Now, the book that I'll be talking about today is The Little Book of Luke. Now, if you haven't heard of this word before, that's because Now, if you haven't heard of this book before, that is because it is Danish. So the author and philosophy are from Denmark, but the book is talking about ways to implement this philosophy into your life. So Luke is, I'll put the definition here. It's basically a little bit more of an expansion on this idea of hygge or hyggeliness. I read The Little Book of Hygge last year, and it was really cool because they were explaining sort of the main reason for why the Danish and the country of Denmark is always at the top of that list that they post for happiest countries. It's this idea of a philosophy of contentment. It's their commitment to making sure that the little things, you know, those little things that really warm your heart, is making sure that those stay alive and well. So Luke is a little bit more of a hands-on application of that philosophy. It's figuring out which things you can do in your life and incorporate so that you can find that deeper level of joy and consistent happiness. You might not always be happy, but these are some practices that you can put into place that will definitely contribute to your overall well-being. This is a book that I would put in the personal development category. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's self-help, just because it's a lot more of a description. The author, Make Viking, is a researcher. He actually founded and runs the Institute of Happiness. I think it's the Institute of Happiness. He actually founded and runs the Institute of Happiness, so he's a happiness researcher, which is pretty cool, probably one of my life goals. I might apply for that. Anyways, there are a lot of things that I liked about this book. After each chapter, they gave you hands-on suggestions for ways that you can incorporate the different things into your life. So they were talking about the impact of greenery and just being outside on your overall disposition and happiness levels. Now, it's a little bit harder to draw conclusions from this type of research, but based on the research that the author collected and that other people, because he was also using other researchers' information, he would suggest maybe downloading an app that would help you find more scenic routes to see the outside. He gave all sorts of suggestions for ways to incorporate the things that you like into your everyday practice. If you aren't so much a gym rat and you don't want to be in the gym all the time lifting weights, he talked about different ways that the Danes are super fit all the time, but also love and eat cake all the time, but also just commute a little more manually to work. So a lot of people in Denmark will ride their bike to get to work. Maybe that's not an option for you. He provides all sorts of suggestions for people who might not be in the same living situation as him or the rest of the country of Denmark. So it's pretty cool to learn about the different things that he's talking about and then see ways that you can incorporate them into your life. I've already incorporated a couple of them that I'm pretty excited about, and I gotta say they've been definitely making me a little happier, but I thought that the book was super useful in that application. if there were any dislikes that I had about the book, which it's very hard to find because it's just a book about happiness. It made me so happy. It felt warm and fuzzy, and I love kindness, so it was right up my alley. I don't think there was anything that was immediately alarming, but let's see, what didn't I like about this book? I thought that the structure of the book was interesting. The way that he went about each of the pillars, I think he started with the 5 principles or something like that behind the idea of Luca. But then the book didn't exactly follow that structure. It's not too much a complaint so much as it's, I expected this way and he did it a different way, and I still got all the concepts and understood it, but it was a great time all in all. I really appreciated how in this book he incorporated a lot more he incorporated a lot more testimonials from people who weren't necessarily associated with his research, but just people that he came across that had stories that were incredibly relevant to what he was talking about. I really enjoyed the fact that he would weave those stories in. Sometimes it was a little bit more of a choppy transition, but we're humans. How can we go about incorporating some random person's story into a book that we've been planning for however long? Either way, I would definitely recommend this book. I would give this a rating of maybe 8.3 out of 10. I think the guy is an excellent researcher. I don't know that he's necessarily an excellent writer, but I think he did a really good job, and it was thoroughly created and well done, and by the time I made it to the end, I felt all of the good feelings that I feel like Luca was supposed to be about, which means that it was very effective, and I can't wait to read more by them. If you have a chance to pick up a copy of The Little Book of Luca, I highly recommend that you do. I will leave a link down in the description for where I like to get books. I especially like audiobooks, and the author reads this book, so that was an added bonus. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you in my next one. Thanks so much, and don't forget the spice.